The following game is being played with History Maker Baseball Express, a product of Play Games LLC, copyright 2022, all rights reserved. If you would like to order a copy of History Maker Baseball Express, or if you would like to check out the other products offered from Play Games, please click on the link provided in the description box below. Back to yet another series in this video series for the 1927 Yankees Gauntlet Challenge. And today's series will be featuring the 2018 New York Metropolitans, or the New York Mets, as they are known in short terms. This is game one of the best of five series. As you can see in the top right-hand corner of your screen, the 1927 Yankees currently lead the Gauntlet Challenge by winning 3 series and losing only 1. With that being said, your pitching matchup for game 1 of this series is going to be, a tough one for the 1927 Yankees, as they will have to face off against Jacob deGrom, who is an ace, star, flash, and control pitcher. And the Metropolitans, or the New York Mets, will take on Wadey Hoyt when we get to the bottom half of the first. With that being said, lineups have been exchanged at home plate. deGrom is ready, and Combs is ready, and let's do it from Citi Field in Queens, New York. 235. Is deGrom a star pitcher? Yes, he is. So that's going to be a no runs result of 5 blank. And that's going to end the top half of the first for the 1927 Yankees. Just like that, Jacob deGrom is out rocking early, showcasing his Cy Young stuff that he pitched to a top 3 in the NL Cy Young voting in 2018. With that being said, the 1927 Yankees will now come to bat with the score of 0 for the Yankees, and the 2018 Mets are coming to bat. We got a 1-3-5, and it's going to be, is Wadey Hoyt an ace pitcher? He is a semi-ace. 1-3-5. Yes. Is Wadey Hoyt a semi-ace is an ace pitcher? Hoyt is a semi-ace. Now, with the way that I play it in my games of History Maker Baseball Express, if you are just joining us for the first time, again, welcome. If you like the content that you see here on screen and throughout this video series, I encourage you to subscribe for future content here on my channel, as I will hopefully be posting almost every day here on my channel. So with that being said, back to the semi-ace quality, I do play it as if the pitcher has semi-ace and it's the decider die pops up dot, then he has it for this at bat. And if he doesn't, he doesn't for only this at bat. So it could be like for this at bat, say for example, we can see here the decider die says blank. So in this case, Wadey Hoyd would not have ace, but maybe sometime down the road it would say a dot, and he would and a new batter would be showing up, and he would have ace for that at bat. So again, I play semi-ace as if he has it, he has it. He doesn't for that at bat. So in this case here, Wadey Hoyd does not have ace. So we move on to a batter check of Brandon Nimmo, the leadoff batter for the Metropolitans or the 2018 Mets of 135. Is Nimmo a champion batter? No, he is not. So that's going to end up being a no runs result of 3 blank. And that's going to end the first inning for the Metropolitans. And at the end of 1, we go scoreless here at Citi Field for game 1 of this series. As we are scoreless as we head to the top half of the second. 2-3-4 for Koenig. And it says pitcher is not fresh. Well, here's the thing. The way that I work with freshness is if you were just joining us, you know how it works. But if you were, or excuse me, if you already are a familiar face in this video series, you already know what it means. But for those of you who are joining us for the first time, the way that I work freshness is both pitching staffs are going to have, for both of their starters, have 3 fresh innings and 3 semi-fresh innings. If the starter is pitching a shutout, he would retain semi-freshness when we get to the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings until he gives up a run. So with that being said, Jacob deGrom is fresh. 2-3-4. Is Koenig a sad sack batter? He is not. So that's going to end up being a minimum base result, -1 for black die of control. Jacob deGrom has control. So that is going to be putting Mark Koenig on at first. And we're going to go to my optional minimum base narrative chart for the outcome. And it looks like the decider die was not used. So it's going to end up being, oh, excuse me, no decider die check. I'm sorry. 1 and a 3 is going to be an official scorer's decision. And the decider die was not used. So it's going to be an error. And a certain fielder cannot make the play. And batter is safe at first. In this case, Mark Koenig gets on base via E3 for the error check. So it'll be a E3 for Koenig. And we just, oops. And of course, it wouldn't be a play game video without, it wouldn't be a video without me dropping one of my dice. Oh. So Babe Ruth is next at bat. I will switch this card, and we will roll off of the minimum base chart that comes with the game, and a 26 reads, home run king hits a home run. Babe Ruth is a full home run king. It's going to hit. He has hit that one high, far, and gone. Oops. All the way to the Pepsi porch, deep in right field. And the 1927 Yankees take a 2-0 lead off of Jacob deGrom here in the second inning. And we will continue to roll on the men on base chart for Lou Gehrig. Reading Black and Blue Dice is such of a 26, and again, it reads Home Run King back-to-back jacks for Ruth and Lou Gehrig. And the 1927 Yankees take a 3-0 lead here in the second, considering off of a Lou Gehrig solo home run, this time maybe out to the bullpens in deep right center here at Citi Field in Queens. We now go to Bob Musil's at bat on the men on base chart, and it reads a 12. Slugger hits home run. Bob Musil is not a slugger, so that is going to be a single, and that's going to do it for the second inning. Here, that's going to do it for the top half of the second, I should say, as Jacob deGrom gives up 3 runs, courtesy of the long ball by Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. And the 1927 Yankees lead the so-called Subway Series, or here at Citi Field, by a score of 3-0 as we head to the bottom half of the second, and as Drupal Cabrera will be the batter. 136 is Hoyt an ace pitcher? He is not. He is a semi-ace. The Decider Die says he is not. 136 is going to be, is as Drupal Cabrera, a hero batter? No, he is not. So that's going to end up being a no runs result. However, the black die is not a 6, whereas as Drupal Cabrera is a slugger printed on his card. So that's going to end up being a no runs result of 3 dot to end the bottom half of the second, and the score remains 3-0 in favor of the 1927 Yankees. We go to the top half of the third, and Ray Morehart will lead things off. 145 is deGrom an ace or dynamic pitcher? deGrom is an ace, so that's going to end up being a no runs result of 5 blank, and that's going to end the top half of the third with your score still 1927 Yankees 3 and the 2018 New York Mets nothing. Here we go with Wilmer Flores. 134 is Wadey Hoyt an ace pitcher? He is a semi-ace, and again, the Decider Die says he is not an ace, so we move on to the batter check of, is Wilmer Flores a champion batter? No, he is not. So that's going to be a no runs result of 1 dot, and that's going to, whoops, I forgot to switch the progress bar, but again, I apologize for that. And the bottom half of the third will be completed here with nothing doing for the 2018 Mets, as Wadey Hoyt is doing his part to keep the score at bay of 3-0 in favor of the 1927 Yankees. Here we go to the to the top half of the fourth, I should say. And Jacob deGrom back out to the mound. 156 is deGrom an ace pitcher? And we should all know this by now. He is. So the result will be a no runs result of 5 dot, and that will end the top half of the fourth. And again, I play my games with the no runs narrative advanced option to collect pitching stats for not just stats, but for game stats as well. So with that being said, we move to the bottom half of the fourth with the score of 3-0, and Jay Bruce will lead things off for the Metropolitans here in the fourth inning. 356. Is Hoyt a workman pitcher? No, he is not. Is Jay Bruce a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that's going to end up being a men on base result, -1 for black die of flash. Wadey Hoyt does not have flash, and cue the sirens as the bases are loaded full of Metropolitans. And let's go now to the optional men on base chart, men on base narrative chart that I have created for this game, which I'll leave a link to the my homebrew optional men on base narratives charts and a special RBI question mark and micro RBI results chart down below in the description. And I only ask that if you own a copy of this game of History Maker Baseball Express, you can download those charts. So we go to my optional men on base narrative chart with a 5 and a 6, and it reads dot equals 3 hits, blank equals C multiple runners on base. So let me check if the decider die was not used. 2, 5, 6. Workman, no. Sansack, no. So no. The decider die was not used, and it's going to be C multiple runners on base chart attached to the optional men on base narrative chart, which will be at the bottom part of the page. And I'm going to. And again, it says blue die, but you can read any of the dice that you want. So I will go ahead and say we'll read the red die. And it looks like that Jay Bruce is going to get a walk in his first appearance, single in the second and third, and gets an error in his third plate appearance. So again, the chart goes by simple plate appearances instead of like what we've been playing with, like what you have or I have been playing over the years when playing card and dice baseball or sports games, especially with baseball. You would play it at bat by at bat in full play, but with Express you're getting stats for the entire game. So with that being said, we head now to the men on base chart that comes with the game, and you would see at the beginning of every video, and again, you have the real reason why that you are seeing the player cards on screen and the qualities on the ballpark boards that I have on screen. Is because of copyright laws. So, and I do want to keep the integrity of this game, which is owned by Play Games, owned by Keith Avalone, and he does really make great games. I encourage you to go check out the website, which I left the link down below in the description to this video, if you want to order a copy of this game or check and see if what other products that interests you or that it doesn't interest you, or excuse me, what I should say is that you have of interest. So he has many games on there, and I encourage you to go check it out. It's play, spelled with PLAAY.com. And again, the link will be provided in the description box below. And with that being said, let's go to the men on base chart and Michael Conforto. Reading the black and blue dice as such of a 23, eager will ground out, and again, Michael Conforto is not an eager, so that's going to be a bases loaded walk, and we go station to station as the Mets do get on the board via a walk and an RBI from Michael Conforto. And let's head to Todd Frazier for his turn up at the plate. 15, and it reads, scrapper hits double. Todd Frazier is not a scrapper, and oh my goodness, Todd Frazier, with one swing of the bat, hits one deep, and I mean way deep, into the Citi Field night to have the Mets take a 5-3 lead off of a grand slam home run by Todd Frazier. And that puts the 2018 Mets in front by a score of 5-3. And that will end the fourth inning by that same score. My, oh my, oh my. Todd Frazier with the big hit in this game, courtesy of the grand slam home run. Whew. Man, is Jacob deGrom really happy. He's giving some high fives to Todd Frazier as he enters the dugout and high fives his teammates. And of course, that's got to sting if you're a 1927 Yankees or just a Yankees fan in general, as the 2018 Mets will take a 5-3 lead heading into the fifth with Benny Bengo on stepping up to the plate against Jacob deGrom. 2-4-5. You guys can see 2-4-5 is the roll. Is deGrom a struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Benny Bengo a sad sack batter? No, he is not. And that is going to be a men on base result. -1 for black die, a flash or control. Jacob deGrom has both flash and control, so that is going to end up being a no runs result of 5 blank. And that's going to end the top half of the fifth here at Citi Field in Queens, New York. With the score heading into the bottom half of the fifth, the 2018 Metropolitans lead the 1927 Yankees by a score of 5-3. And we got Devin Mesoraco stepping into the box. Against Wadey Hoyd, which will probably be his last inning of work here in this game. As we can see out in right center, is if that bullpen is active. But before we do, let's see if that bullpen is active for the 1927 Yankees. And they are. So this will probably be Wadey Hoyd's last inning of work. And here's the result for Devin Mesoraco. 2-3-3. Is Wadey Hoyd an ace pitcher? He is a semi-ace, and this time he gets the decider die to behave. He is an ace, so that's going to be a no-runs result of 3 to end the fifth inning here at Citi Field, and that will probably end the day for Wadey Hoyd as the bullpen starts to get warmed up as he gets some high fives from his teammates, and the manager of the 1927 Yankees goes to shake his hand and says the bullpen will take it from here. And we head to the sixth inning with the score 2018 Mets 5 and the 1927 Yanks 3. Here we go now with Earl Combs to lead off the top half of the sixth inning with a 1-3-6. Is deGrom an ace pitcher? And of course, as you guys know by now, he is an ace pitcher. That is going to be a 1 blank to end the top half of the sixth, with the score still in favor of the 2018 Mets, thanks to a grand slam by Todd Frazier, as the 2018 Mets take a 5-3 lead heading into the bottom half of the sixth inning. and it looks like we can see someone coming out of the bullpen gates down in right center field, and we will take a timeout to allow that pitcher, whoever he is, to get his warm-up tosses in and to get a to get his warm-up tosses in, and we will take a timeout. And Miles Thomas will be the new 1927 Yankees pitcher coming out of the pen, as he will be facing off against Ahmed Rosario here in the bottom half of the sixth inning, with the 2018 Mets leading Game 1 of this series by a score of 5-3, courtesy of a Todd Frazier grand slam as the big hit of this game so far. Let's see what happens with Ahmed Rosario takes his cracks at the 1927 Yanks. 235 is Miles Thomas a star pitcher? No, he is not. Is Ahmed Rosario a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that's going to end up being a minimum base result, -1 for black die if full. Oh, 235, excuse me. Star pitcher, no, sad sack. Again, I read that wrong. Sorry. It was supposed to be a 235, resulting down to 245. I read the 245 line by mistake. So it's going to be, is Thomas a star pitcher? No, he is not. Is Rosario a sad sack batter? He is not. So that's going to end up being a minimum base result either way. If -1 for black die, if Miles Thomas has flash, in this case he does not. So that is going to be a runner on second, and Ahmed Rosario is going to he'll get on base with a walk. And again, the umpires, whoever these guys are, called a balk on the pitching staff of the 1927 Yankees. And I'm going, come on, guys, are you kidding me? And of course, if you guys know the Mets broadcasters, they don't like any of the calls they are seeing here at the ballpark today. Ooh-wee. Oh, well. Here we go with Brandon Nimmo up at the plate. Off of the men on base chart, again, reading the reading the black and blue dice as such with a 35. It reads, control pitcher gets the ground out. Unfortunately, Miles Thomas is not a control pitcher, so that is going to be a walk to put Brandon Nimmo on base, and the runners are now at first and second, I should say, for Asdrubal Cabrera. 345. I'm sorry, not 345. Sorry, 35, I should say. Control pitcher gets the ground out. Again, Miles Thomas is not a control pitcher, so that is going to end up loading the bases, and that's going to prompt a mound visit from the catcher, Benny Bengo, to go have a chit-chat with Miles Thomas. And remember, the last time that these Mets loaded the bases, Todd Frazier hit a grand slam, and Wilmer Flores has the same capabilities if the decider die behaves well enough. So with that being said, here it is, 22. Batting at home, the New York Mets are batting at home, so it looks like it's going to be a single and an RBI, and that's going to bring in a run for the Metropolitans here in Game 1 of this series, as Wilmer Flores gets on base via a single, and Jay Bruce will take his turn now at the dish, with the score now 6-3 in favor of the 2018 Mets. 46, same reliever, righty again. So again, it's not a. So again, with this result, same is righty righty against lefty lefty. In this case, we have a righty lefty matchup, so it's not the same. However, Miles Thomas is relieved to see that he is the reliever, so he is going to end up getting the big strikeout with the bases loaded to keep the score at 6-3 and stopping the bleeding for now, as the 2018 Mets now lead this ball game, lead game one of this best of 5 game series by a score of 6-3 as we head to the 7th inning here at Citi Field. Mark Koenig gets a 4.56. Is the pitcher not fresh? And again, the we have now reached into the 7th inning. So with that being said, since DeGrom is not pitching a shutout, and I'm still thinking about keeping him semi-fresh, I think those are the rules of once it's 7th inning or later, he keeps the semi-fresh quality, and I believe that is true, and that is probably true. And please let me know down in the comments, but I'm going to play it as he is still, if he has semi-fresh still, I'll leave like a little note down in the middle of the screen between the scoreboard and the dice, camera, to let everyone know. So with that being said, Jacob deGrom is semi-fresh. He is not fresh, so it's going to be a men on base result with a base running adjustment off of the black die, and and Mark Koenig, the batter, is semi-stoic, and he is not. So that's going to be a runners on first and third with a men on base. With a men on base result of 4, putting the runners on first and third. So with that being said, it will be either dot equals 2 hits or blank equals seeing multiple runners on base. So we're going to need to re-roll the decider die. And multiple runners on base is coming up with a 5. It's going to be for Mark Koenig, an error and a stolen base in one appearance, a walk in the other, and a runners advance 2 bases single, and an RBI, putting the 1927 Yankees ever closer. The score now is 6-4, courtesy of the RBI single off of my men on base narrative chart by Mark Koenig. And here we go now with Babe Ruth. Reading the black and blue dice as such on the mob chart of a 22. Are the Yankees batting at home? No, they are not. They are the visitors. So it's going to end up being a flyout for Babe Ruth. And that's going to do it for the top half of the 7th. And Jacob deGrom is through 7 innings of work here at Citi Field. And we head into the stretch with the crowd taking in a entertaining a beautiful rendition of God Bless America here on this opening week here to kick off the 2024 Major League Baseball season. And with that being said, we head to the 7th inning, the bottom half of the 7th, I should say, with the score of 2018 Mets 6 and the 1927 Yankees 4. And here we go with Michael Conforto to lead things off here in the bottom half of the 7th. 112. Is Thomas an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Conforto a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that's going to end up being an RBI question mark result, and Michael Conforto is going to get the RBI, courtesy of the decider die, which is over here, that you can see in the darkness, but I'll pull it into the light, of a dot, and that is going to end up being an RBI for Michael Conforto, but let's figure out what the result of the RBI or the outcome of the RBI is going to end up being. So it's going to be off of an error. So with that, I look at the black and red dice. You reading the black die first of the black die 1, 2, or 3 is the error occurred in the outfield. 4, 5, and 6 is error occurred in the infield. And then I would read the red die. If the black die is 1 through 3, the red die is going to be 1 and 2 is left field. 3 and 4 is center, and 5 and 6 is going to be in the right field. If it was 4, 5, and 6 on the black die, it'll just be based off by position. 1 is pitcher, 2 is catcher, 3 is first base, so on and so on and so on. So with that being said, the RBI from Michael Conforto will be an error on the left fielder, courtesy that the black die is within 1, 2, or 3, and the red die says, Mr. Left Fielder, you have committed an error, which will be Bob Musial committing that error to allow Michael Conforto to get an RBI off of the micro RBI charts. And we now have a score as we end the 7th inning here at Citi Field and head to the top half of the 8th. And Jacob deGrom is going to try to at least get one more inning to get the closer ready for a save situation here in Game 1 with a score of 7-4. And here we go with Lou Gehrig out on the mound, stepping up to the plate. 2-4-5. Is deGrom a struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Lou Gehrig a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that's going to end up being a men on base result, -1 for black die, if Jacob deGrom has flash or control, and of course we all know by now he does. So 4 - 2 becomes a men on base 2 of a runner on second, and it will read a 2 and a 5. That's going to be a single and a stolen base for Lou Gehrig. Here to begin the top half of the 8th, and the catcher for the New York Mets is going to go talk to, along with the pitching coach, is going to talk to Jacob deGrom and how he's going to attack Bob Musial here in this at bat here. And again, if you like what you see so far in this series, or in this video series, please consider subscribing to the channel, as I will be posting some future content and game results from my end with Play Games. And again, Keith Avalone makes such great games. I encourage you to go check out Play Games and see what he has to offer. Some are good, some are, I would say all are such great games that Keith makes. I think he and Sam do an amazing job at creating these games for us to enjoy many, 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 and I mean many, many hours of content um, with, and hope that you will give Keith a shot at purchasing either one or maybe one of his games that you would like to get, or if you would just like to get a copy of History Maker Baseball Express, it is still available on the site, which I left a link down below in the description. Or if you want to check out the other things that Keith offers, I also left that link down below in the description box below. So I encourage you guys to go check out the website, and if you like some of the games that you see, do consider getting yourself a copy of Keith's games. They are amazing. Anyway, here's Bob Musel off of the Men on Base chart. Reading the black and blue dice is such of a 25. Iron fielder commits the error. Todd Frazier is not an iron fielder, so that's going to be a ground out to end the 8th inning, and Jacob deGrom is through eight innings, and the manager of the 2018 Mets will shake Jacob deGrom's hand and say, hey, you're good. We will take over. If the score remains right where it is, we are going to bring in the closer for the top half of the 9th, so that way you can earn yourself the win. Ooh, excuse me. And the bullpen hero can earn a save, or in this case, the closer will. So the plan is for the Mets to bring on their closer in the top half of the 9th. So with that being said, we go to the bottom half of the 8th with the score 2018 Metropolitans 7 and the 1927 Yankees 4. Here is Todd Frazier was used. I am assuming that would be correct. Even though he didn't have anything on dice rolls of 24 or 25, use the fielding rating on the top player, the pitching team's batter deck. In this case, it was Todd Frazier, and then rotate that player to the bottom half of the stack. To the bottom of the stack, and then play on with Devin Mesoraco of a 2.66. Is Miles Thomas a star pitcher? No, sirree. Is Devin Mesoraco a champion batter? No, he is not. So that's going to end up being a no-runs result. However, there is a possibility of a solo home run, and unfortunate. I wish the manager of the manager of the Metropolitans did not shake Jacob deGrom's hand, because that is going to end up being a solo home run for Devin Mesoraco, as he has the semi-home run king. The Decider Die says he does have home run king, and that is going to push the Metropolitans lead by 4. It is now 2018 Mets 8 and the 1927 Yankees 4. And that's going to put the save situation out of hand, and courtesy of Devin Mesoraco, courtesy of the long ball from Devin Mesoraco, a save situation is no longer needed. But the Mets are going to save their closer for another day, and we will be bringing the other pitcher that was warming up along with the closer to get some work out of the pen, and we will take a timeout. And again, the score as we head to the top half of the 9th, the 2018 Mets 8 and the 1927 Yankees 4. And we will take a timeout as the New York Mets make a pitching change. And it looks like it will be Seth Lugo that was warming up out of the pen, along with the closer for the 2018 Mets. And he will be facing off against Ray Morehart to start the top half of the 9th inning with the score of 8-4 in favor of the 2018 Metropolitans, or for short, the New York Mets. Here's Ray Morehart. 156. Is Mr. Morehart is Seth Lugo, I should say, an ace pitcher? He is a semi-ace pitcher. The decider die says he is not an ace pitcher. So that is going to be a batter check for Ray Morehart of a sad sack batter. No, he is not a sad sack batter. So that's going to end up being a men on base result. -1 for black die if flash. Seth Lugo does have flash, and that is going to be a result of putting the runners on second and third and we head to my optional men on base narrative chart of 1 and a 5, and the decider die was used, so dot is going to equal 2 hits, or blank is going to be see multiple runners on base. And of course I dropped my decider die. How foolish of me. All right, there it is. It didn't wander on too far. So that's good. And again, dot is 2 hits. Blank is see multiple runners on base. And it looks like Ray Morehart is going to collect 2 hits. So with this, I'm going to roll the red die of 1. 1 and a 6 is a solo home run and an RBI. A 2 or a 5 is a single. A 3 is a triple, and 4 is a double. And he collects 2 hits. 4 is going to be a double, and 3 is going to be a triple over the time and over the course of the game. And we now move to Joe Duggan with a huge opportunity to get the 1927 Yankees possibly creeping ever closer as Seth Lugo is getting into some little bit of trouble here in the top half of the 9th. And we go to the men on base chart for Joe Duggan. And again, reading the blue and black dice as such of a 25. Iron fielder commits the error. Unfortunately, Ahmed Rosario is not an iron fielder, and that is going to end up being a ground out for Joe Duggan. And that will be your ball game, folks. The 2018 Mets post 8 runs on the board here at Citi Field to take game 1 of this series, courtesy of a couple of long balls by Todd Frazier with the grand slam and Devin Mesoraco to squeeze out one more home run to not put the Mets in a save situation. Unfortunately, they were not able to get the save here. But again, Jacob deGrom will get the win. Wadey Hoyt will get the loss. And that will be that from game 1 here at Citi Field as the 2018 Mets take game 1 by a final score of 8-4.